that guy, pal. Trust me, you're not that guy.
Make sure you knew that you are indeed not that guy. And welcome back to the No Randoms Podcast, episode number 45. We are getting up there. We're going to hit 50 soon. And you know what they say about 50, right? It's the new 40 or something relevant. I digress. I'm going the wrong direction. Let's get back on track. Welcome to the episode, boyos. You know where we start every single week. Throwing you a curveball. We're going to start with Shad. Shad, what have you been playing this week, my friend?
So on Steam, I saw this game that was advertised called Kerbal Space Exploration 2, which is an early development. So they're kind of what we were doing, talking about like the last episodes, where like the game's not done yet, but they're putting it out and they're investing heavy on the community of like you being a fan of the game and you telling the developer essentially what needs to be fixed. But anyways, the game's like all about like launching a spacecraft from like Earth all the way into space and then trying to land it on other planets. But like it takes a lot of like thinking and like fuel and like the way you build the plane or like the shuttle or the craft. It's gnarly.
So it's like simulator. It's not like an arcadey type game.
It's not a video game.
It's like
a
rocket simulator.
Yeah.
This guy thinks he's Elon.
I was gonna say Elon simulator.
This guy thinks he's Elon.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me.
He thinks
you're
he's
not
young
that
Elon
guy.
Musk. This boy got Elon simulator tweeting out.
I don't know, dude. I got this game where I like own this electric car company and like send rockets out to space. And shit.
That's on my phone. That's on my phone. That's like an idle game.
I named my kids some wild shit. I got to just, I can make it up. It's great. It's called The Sims. You heard of this game? That sounds cool. How many you got? Do you have some hours in that? Yeah. What's it called?
It's called Kerbal Space Exploration 2.
Space.
Kerbal, I guess
Kerbal.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting name. But yeah, it was just one of those kinds of games where I was like, you know what, I'm going to try this. I've been wanting to play like a space-oriented game. But then I got on there and I'm like, dude, I'm not a scientist. The end. Like, I can't. Like, I've crashed every ship so far.
I wonder how those games are like. That's the type of game I could see doing really well on VR, right? Like, is that silly? Because there's not high speed rendering going on, right? You're not trying to shoot somebody and slide cancel and do a 360 and all that shit. So you should be able to, if you can sacrifice some rendering and some of that shit for the experience. I could just see that playing really well in VR. I don't know if that's an option. Have you seen something like that?
I've seen games like that. Like I think No Man's Sky can go into like a VR mode, which is pretty immersive.
Really? That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So if you have Steam VR, you could it's like a standalone, and you can attach it to your like Oculus, and you can be able to run it and be able to play. Obviously, if you have like the Steam, I don't know what theirs is called, but the Steam VR it works better. But for what Oculus is, it's really good. You just don't get the resolutions the same.
Of course, no surprise, of course, now that we say it, they do have mad of these. I just Googled, like, VR space game. And then, they have some cool ones, but I don't know if there's anything exactly like what you said, but that's what I want. Like, let me run the experience, then get on the rocket. Pause. Pause. Fast forward. We got to stop saying that. But I was going to say that does remind me. Dog. There are aim for the bushes. There are mad games that I forget you can just not even port over to VR. You can just play in VR on your PC, like F1, right? Whatever, No Man's Sky. There are other games that you can do right now. Like I have the Oculus and I have my PC. I've still never plugged them in. Have you done that, Shad?
Yeah, so I have done it two different ways. The VR component where you're actually like in the VR through like Steam as a medium, but I've also done something called virtual desktop where you essentially have multiple screens.
I've seen virtual desktop. I know what that is. It's like
I run that every once in a while.
It feels a little hacky, but like it might work.
It's like Minority Report. You know what I mean? I'm just like this here, that there, Tom Cruise. You know what I mean? Right.
Wait, have you been working like that?
Not all the time. I did try it a few times. It kind of gave me like a headache, but
I've been thinking about trying that, like sitting in my office, like you said, Minority Report. And I'm like, is it too early? Like, once you go there, you can't go back, right? Like, if that's how you work, that's how you work.
Imagine
I don't
you
know,
love
fam. What if I feel like it's so funny to me. Okay, that's what it is.
Turn into old boy from Grandma's Boy, bro.
That it's so funny to me that like the barrier to this incredible technology is that you'll kind of look like a doofus. Like we talked about, like that weird
You'll be
head,
doing some dope ass shit.
right?
Okay.
the noise
Efficiency
canceling
high.
thing. All the ideas are fantastic. You'll just look stupid. And it's like, not worth it.
Right. We're not there yet. I'm not gonna be the one that tried that out. Not my black ass. I gotta let
bet
that go
it'll
through a
be
couple
great.
of generations first, or maybe like a, you know what I mean? Let a nigga with those and then big ass red boots walk around, and then I'll.
That's the concept, bro. Just don't be the first, right? Like, I see what you're on to. Just I can't be the early adopters of that wave. That's how I feel about still having all the NFT people. You know what I mean? If you still have your NFT profile photo up, you're sticking it out, man. You haven't taken it down yet. I still got some good friends. I still have my NFT profile photo. Like, it's for some of us. This is part of the business. It's bad. It's bad. All right, moving on. Banton, what about you? What have you been playing this week, my boy?
You know, I've honestly been playing a lot of 2K. Same of the same. Been going pretty hard on that, just in the rec, doing my own thing. I feel like I'm in a good stride with that. Having a lot of fun. The boys have been on Clubos and Volta. That's been a lot of fun too.
Volta.
Y'all want to get smacked on that? Any squads
Hit me with
listening to
that
this? Let us
invite.
know. Yeah.
I got on the other night with Chad, and everybody was on, and nobody was in the party. It was like
this?
9. I don't. When was that, Chad?
Like 8:30?
Sunday
9?
Sunday evening. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like 9 niggas on PS playing different games, and we were in no randoms by ourselves. Like, all right, well, we hung out for like 45 minutes.
Oh, I was watching F1. That's why the new season of F1. I got hooked on that. You seen it, Chad?
That shit.
Oh yeah, I just finished it.
I should go watch it.
I've been hooked on the new season of Drive to Survive. But yeah,
We got
besides
a
that,
race.
new season of Call of Duty as well. Just dropping in there, grind a little bit. Then just a little.
It occurred to me, and I didn't write it into the episode, but I was thinking like the new season of COD dropped, and then we just never talked about it. We had the Super Bowl, and like we were kind of, by the time we came back, Hogwarts came out, and we just like, yeah, it was cool. So I was like, shit, do we find? And this is interesting. I could not find one review. I found a bunch of tips and like, here's the best of. I could not go Google it right now. I could not find one solid, like, you know what I mean? There were some on Reddit, but none from any of our regular sources. Not at all. No reviews. I didn't see any bad things, which is cool, but no like comprehensive. So I don't know. I thought maybe we'll spend some time talking to you about it this episode or next. Maybe we'll invite Emugs or whoever else in our crew plays COD.
Well,
but
I mean, I kind of had a little rant last week, but
fair enough.
we can. I got more though. We'll
Yeah, like I
we
need to
got
go
more.
deep on the map, and like I started to see videos and stuff from the map, and I was like, oh, what's the?
I'll start having a Call of Duty segment, bro. I'll be watching this stuff. So.
I told you, bro. 2 segments for you. We need Banton's Call of Duty, or grinds his gears, and then I need to have the wildest usernames, right, from 2K every week.
Oh,
Bring me the highlights. What's the stupidest, craziest, most
yeah.
silliest?
That's what I'm gonna do. When I start seeing y'all famous niggas with the logos, I'm gonna start saving your gamer tags, and we're gonna start shouting you out in the pod. I want to find out who y'all niggas are. Why y'all got logos? Why you got a football logo? Why you got a baseball logo? What's that supposed to mean? Who are you?
I want to know.
Who
Can we
that
put
is?
this on TikTok? Can we go find them?
Yeah, come play in my rec, dog. What's up? Come join the pod. Don't be so
Look.
like, why are you playing offline, hiding from people, dog? You don't need to be like this.
Look, our platform is not big, but it's a platform, all right? We got to use it. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, what about you, Kev?
Shoot. You know what? Honestly, I played a ton of. See what I'm saying? You know where I'm going. I played a ton of Hogwarts this week. It was like, speaking of your poster, Shad, it was like I went Super Saiyan for the first time or whatever. Last week I was like, yeah, no, I like Hogwarts, deep game, cool storytelling, I dig it. And then like, I can't remember what the moment was. What was it? I think it was like a certain spell, or maybe it was getting the room of requirement. Something happened, and I was like, oh, this game is way big. This is
I can
fun.
craft things. Oh, crazy!
Right? There was like a couple things that happened kind of back to back to back when I was like, oh, like and I know everyone's been saying that, but I was there playing with the family, and it's like, yeah, no, you can go. Like I realized you could go so deep in again, it could be basically Animal Crossing, right? If you just want to decorate your shit and like just wear cool outfits and hang out. But it did make me feel like the game has to be online soon. Like we talked about that in depth, but again, we have a couple more Hogwarts segments just because it's the story everywhere. Hey, it's the big story. But I think when we came on last week, I was like 4 hours in. I think I'm like 15 hours in now. Like I got some time in over the weekend. Yeah, we found time to really get into that. So Hogwarts and Splatoon, Matt. Every time I'm Revelio now, I think of Anton
Revelio.
saying, I can't be saying Revelio. And I'm like,
Revelio.
like I noticed if you do it a couple times in a row, he stops saying it, and I'm always a little bit less embarrassed when he doesn't say it. I'm like, that's you. That's bullying. You're gamer shaming this man.
Sorry,
Anton
bro.
is standing up for the community. I see what you're
Grown
on
ass.
to.
Grown man out here talking about Velio.
Lots of grown men are out here talking about Revelio. I promise. Also, I did play a little bit of Apex. I was just so bad. It's you have to get like into the swing of things. So I just want to get caught up. But I've been doing not a great job. So I need to get back into the games. But Hogwarts is dominating at the moment. I'm ready for Zelda though. Hogwarts is just pre-Zelda for me. I'm just getting loosened up, getting back into my puzzle mode, getting my stories worked out. You know what I mean? Because once Zelda comes out, your boy's out of here.
They
Start to
released
finish.
the size of the game
Don't,
today.
don't,
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
We don't have time to add it to the notes. I can't cover it, so don't. But like, I'm gonna stop the pod. We'll come back after this
Now
break.
you know.
This boy. All right, okay. Moving into You Love to See It. Anton, take it away.
I was about to say, piggybacking off of the Hogwarts, this was pretty cool, man. Coming from Video Games Chronicles, headline was a Hogwarts Legacy TV show is reportedly in development at HBO Max. Man, this says a Hogwarts Legacy TV series is reportedly in development at Warner's HBO Max, according to somewhat reputable entertainment news site Giant Freaking Robot. It claims the series is still in early phases of development, but like Warner's recently released Hogwarts Legacy game, it will presumably be set before the original Harry Potter novels and the Fantastic Beasts spin-offs. So, very nice. We're riding this wave of Harry Potter nostalgia, huh? And shout out to HBO, man. They really are. I was talking about it with my wife earlier, man. I was like, they really are like the GOAT of like television. Like Andrew Schultz said it, and like I've really been thinking about it. Like they are the staple. Like they are like probably originally like are the original like primetime streamer event, you know what I mean? And everyone is just trying to compete with them, man. Shout out to HBO.
They
just
own
give us-
Sunday nights, my boy.
They really do.
Own Sunday nights in the best way. We're so lucky that they do.
Mm.
I mean, like, if this is a Sunday night slot HBO show, I don't care. Watch out. Look what they did with The Last of Us. You could be dark. There's going to be dark wizards, but it's not Draco Malfoy. It's going to be this universe, but not built for 10-year-olds. Watch out, all right? Because that's going to be my show, and it's going to be your show, too.
It's like I think of that Vince McMahon meme when he's crying. He's just like talking about the past. He's like, it was perfect. That's how I think of like
It was special.
it was special, man. Just watching all these shows, like when they originally came out, it's like trying to explain that to somebody. Like, you weren't there though during the phenomenon.
You didn't watch Oz when you were 6 and 7 because you had healthy parents. You should not do that.
Yeah,
you
don't be
remember
corny
Next
like
Time?
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan, you call him corny. Oh my God.
Oh Lord, y'all got eaten up for that. But yeah, honestly, I'm hyped for this. Again, somewhat reputable entertainment news site, Giant Freaking Robot. It was like iffy, and they were the only ones reporting this, but they said it with confidence. And Video Games Chronicle is reputable to us. We rely on them all the time. So this is enough news for me to get excited about it, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? I don't need to see the signatures. Just kind of give me a hint, and I'm gonna get excited because HBO, Hogwarts, put it all together in a pot, and you got your Sunday night.
Shoot, with how much money they made from the game, why not? They're like, yo, let's just keep going into I mean, you guys are the ones that really kind of opened my eyes to it with how far they can go in the lore and the characters and all that. It's
Well,
like,
the thing is,
why wouldn't they? Like, that would be the range on that is huge. Like,
well, they haven't stopped. I was gonna say is they haven't stopped. Like, I don't think you're, as I imagine, you're not familiar with the Fantastic Beasts movies, but that's a whole other trilogy that's got Jude Law. And
I
like,
was gonna say, I was just talking with Shad about that. Like before we started
Yeah.
recording, I was like, "That's like set before all of
Oh,
this,
okay.
right? Like
That's
those
cool.
handful of movies, but before Harry Potter, right?"
These niggas using up all the good. Shad knows. Y'all using up all the good conversations off pod. That's how
That
that's
was
what's going
literally.
on now.
No, he goes, have you ever heard of Fantastic Beasts? And I'm like,
It's because I was reading the
that's
notes
the
and I was
Harry
like, "Have you
Potter
seen
movie." He's just like, oh yeah, those are other ones? And I'm like, yeah.
Oh, and Shad, it's got your the guy that you like. And you know the guy Shad, which is Eddie Redmayne. That's Shad's guy. He loves him.
Is it the Baker guy?
I don't know. I just wanted to put that
Ah.
on you. I thought I might
okay.
get you won that. I thought he was gonna be like, who? What? What do you? And then he just, yeah, the baker. I don't know if the answer is yes or no. Fuck, I'm out.
Same.
You know,
Killed me.
while we're kind of following on this HBO hit in the video game, conversion TVs, should we save a quick like 10 minutes for The Last of Us? Are you guys up to date, or should we save that for another episode? Because I'm up to date, so
No.
I can vent.
I'm up to date, and you guys know I haven't played the game, so we were like, "Oh shit, he's dead." We were like, "Oh, the season's over." They just did a 6 episode, like, well, fuck. And I was like, I guess eventually it had to be just Ellie, anyways. I just didn't think it'd be so soon. So I was happy we didn't talk because we got to live that. Like we thought he was dead for a whole week.
Yeah, dude. Oh man.
Oh, spoiler alert.
Well,
He's
I mean,
not
by
dead.
now, hey,
Yeah,
you
I'm
can't
like,
by the time this comes out, I'm sure if you're somewhat online, you would have seen it. But nah, man, it's so good. The episodes, dude, are they not just nailing the emotion like on this show? Like Neil
music.
Druckmann, right? Dude,
The music.
yes, and the music, dude. Like,
Hits.
oh, it's been getting me in my feels. I be trying not to cry every week. Like the scene, like I know I'm just gonna jump around. Like the scene with the bloater got me. Like seeing old boy come out of the shit. You know what I mean? When my boy had to kill his brother. Just
Yo, that
like
scene
the-
was
the way-
tough.
Oh man, the way it just highlights like just humanity in such a different light, and just like and like the way that Ellie asked questions about like before, you know what I mean? Like, oh, what was it like flying before? What was it like driving before? What was it like? Oh, what are these things like? Like I don't know. It's just so interesting. Like I know it's very simple, but like it's so they just do such a good job at just like really illustrating like. You know what I mean? Or like when they see like things that like we do now, you know what I mean? Like in the episode when they're in the mall and they see, they're like, what's the point of this? Like, why would they take shoes over soap? You know, like, you know what I mean? Like little things like that. I thought that was funny. Like, damn.
I do wonder when they started, and it makes me think like, is this more resonant with us now? I mean, I guess I'll speak for myself, but it's all more resonant to me now post pandemic.
Yeah.
Right? Like in a world where, and like you guys know, I did some growing up, like on a ranch without stuff. Like I've been around, it's like, oh, there's no electricity and shit. And so knowing that that's possible is crazy. But yeah, the idea of like the before times is really intense. And I imagine that resonates way differently with all of us now that we've kind of been through that. Like, so they really have the perfect time to bring this to life.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, dude, they've been, oof. And especially with the episodes coming up with our boy David. I mean, Kev is someone that hasn't seen it. Yeah, dude.
Don't even.
I'm stuck.
We're
That's be a
gonna
good
kill
follow-up.
Last of Us hour on this podcast because Anton's just gonna spoil it all up.
We're not. I just said a quick 10 minutes so I could jump around. Just kind of
I can't even.
We're good.
You said that you're up to date. I said I'm up to date, and now we're talking about next
just-
week.
Let Jesus take the wheel.
God, that Jesus. Circling back to our next story has nothing to do with Jesus, I promise. This is a little industry business stuff from Dexerto. This is pretty exciting. Looks like Hogwarts Legacy sells 12 million copies and earns $850 million in just 2 weeks, despite the boycott attempts. Again, from Dexerto, says, despite being surrounded by online controversy, Hogwarts Legacy is a smash hit. And now an official press release from Warner Brothers has confirmed that they've earned a staggering $850 million in sales in just its first 2 weeks, selling over 12 million copies from all platforms. Jeez. In the press release, WB Games offered other milestones surpassed in its launch window, including a reported 280 million gameplay hours already logged and 1.28 million concurrent Twitch viewers at its peak. This I thought was crazy. What makes the big numbers even more impressive is the fact that the game has yet to release on last generation platforms like PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. So the game will no doubt see another huge jump in sales once last gen versions release in April and July of this year. So are we surprised by these numbers, the success? Anton, did you see that coming, man? Are these the numbers you thought this was going to run?
Mm, as someone that doesn't know that, I'm sorry, as someone that's not familiar with the franchise, yes, that's. But then again, no, too, because I remember like I grew up with it. I just wasn't involved with it. You know what I mean? Like I remember everyone being obsessed, and I think I actually even went and saw the Goblet of Fire, but I don't remember
That was
anything
like
from that movie.
that felt like its peak for me. That
You
felt
know what I
like when it
mean?
was at its
And
biggest. Yeah.
so and not knowing anything before and going to see that, it's just like I don't. What the hell is going on? So, but no, and again, like we were just saying, no wonder reports, or again, it could be proper, but why wouldn't you write a TV show off of this if they're almost, I mean, on course to make $1 billion? I would say over.
I think. Well, I wonder, and I guess I'll ask you guys too. But for me, I think the most potent, the number that sticks out to me the biggest, right, is the 280 million gameplay hours. Right, it's like there's people that they just want to consume, like they want to sit and consume, like that. There's your viewership, right? Like you've got people ready to watch, and even 1.28 million concurrent on Twitch. People are ready just to consume, even if they can't play. Right, this is maybe the most viewable game I've ever played, and like we've
And
grown up
content
watching
wise too.
games. Right, but like my fam, they're like down to watch me play the game. It's like almost cinematic, right? It's like it's a story you can follow. So yeah, I mean, just hugely consumable, and we'll see how long the numbers keep going. But like I was just saying, I just hit like that kind of second phase, or hit my second wind in the game where I got really into it. So I imagine it's going to keep going.
I'm sure it will. I mean, that's still
Oh,
that's a lot of money,
this
man. That's crazy.
And that next gen or last gen sales thing, I didn't even think about. Like, I just didn't think it was gonna run on Switch. That's where I think this has a sweet spot. When I think of Hogwarts players, I think of Switch players, dude.
You think this makes them Game of the Year already?
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
what tops? Like what?
Yep. No, done.
Like Game of the Year already sealed?
Fuck out of here.
Like
Fuck outta
what's
here.
gonna top numbers like that? That's crazy.
What's gonna move the culture like that? This is like our third week
That's
talking
true.
about it, fourth week talking about it, and like not. I mean, we're fans, but not even because. Yeah, I don't know. It's a rare
That's what I
game
was
that
saying.
moves this many
Content
people.
wise, it's just from watchable, from talking, from just making for people watching on TikTok and shit. It's extremely viewable for such a range of people. It's crazy.
Seen
That's
like
like you saying
nine.
that. It's like you can hand over the controller to your kid and let them run around and shit. You know what I mean? It's a very, hey man.
They'll just sit and watch. All right, all right. Enough on Harry Potter for this week, unless it comes up again. But it's fucking winning all the headlines. Moving on. This is from Nvidia.com. Microsoft and Nvidia announced the companies have agreed to a 10-year partnership to bring Xbox PC games to Nvidia GeForce Now cloud gaming service, which has more than 25 million members in over 100 countries. The agreement will enable gamers to stream Xbox PC titles from GeForce Now to PCs, Macs, Chromebooks, smartphones, and all of the devices that work with the service. It will also enable Activision Blizzard PC titles such as Call of Duty to be streamed on GeForce Now after Microsoft's acquisition of Activision closes. They're everywhere right now, and they are selling. Did you guys see any mention of this? What do you think, Anton? Anything?
Dude, bring on the fucking bot lobbies, dog. I'm gonna be wrecking all these dudes on crossplay, bro. I
All
can't
the
wait. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Bring all of them on, dude. Let's
We're
do
bringing
it.
the skill level all the way down. Everybody's on COD. Fuck it. Chad,
No, that's cool though, man. That's a pretty big W.
Chad, you gonna play? You gonna play COD on your Mac?
I mean, I'm down. I mean, I want to buy a
The
Mac
iPad?
for editing. It might as well have it.
Get the iPad
Try.
CODs going.
Yeah.
Honestly, COD Mobile on iPad is pretty solid.
I do with the controller, with the PlayStation 5 controller. It's cheat codes.
See, it's
Exactly.
pretty
See? That's
solid.
what I'm saying.
Man, we are slowly stepping in. I know we're like, yeah, give me the guys playing on their iPad. I'm gonna wreck these guys on my PC. We are slowly crawling into the future, though. I mean, who knows how these are gonna run? But that's when it starts to get really interesting to me. Is when I see like, yeah, on Macs and Chromebooks and stuff. Like it's
Yeah.
strange. We talked about it last week, though. Like more games is tough because we just consume these games so quickly and move on with so many of them. But they're reaching out further and further. I like what Xbox is doing in terms of business. You're right. Honestly, that takes me right into the next one, and then maybe we can discuss both. This
Yeah,
one
I
from
was gonna save my comments for.
right, fair enough. This one from Engadget.com. Late last year, Microsoft announced that it was committed to bringing Call of Duty to Nintendo for 10 years if its Activision Blizzard acquisition was approved. Now, President Brad Smith has tweeted that the binding 10-year contract has been signed and confirmed that Nintendo would get the same day access to COD as Xbox. Smith indicated that Microsoft will bring other Xbox games to Nintendo platforms as part of the same agreement. And also, Microsoft previously said that it offered Sony a similar deal for PS consoles and committed to offer the game on Steam at the same time as Xbox, provided the merger goes through. Microsoft is out there. Like, they are everywhere. And what I find super interesting, if you notice the subtext of this and the last article, is yada, 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 all these great things if our Activision deal closes. Do you guys notice that?
Yeah, there are a lot of things are like dependent on that. I feel like it's like, well, I guess it's in like a star, right? Or like they haven't been able to like close it or something like that.
Right. There's still
Good.
all those debates over whether or not it's going, it's like legal or it's okay for the industry. And it feels like Microsoft is like, yo, like, so Microsoft is here, PlayStation is here, right? And they're like, nope, it's not fair for the whole industry if Microsoft owns Call of Duty. And Microsoft is like, hey, what if we just go to everybody across the industry and we're like, hey, we'll let you in on this deal, right? And PS like, it's bad for the industry, and the whole industry is like, no, we're with them, like we're all in on the deal. That's what it, right? They're like, they got GeForce and Nintendo, so they just said in 1 week, Call of Duty is going to be literally every single place except for PlayStation, unless they make a deal.
And see, I feel two ways about that. Like, I mean, I have
Tell
both
me
consoles,
both.
so I guess it doesn't really matter for me overall. But I'm from like a complaining and like a fan side, because like this is obviously exciting, and like people that that don't have access to the game and now get it, I'm sure they're gonna be like, oh, cool. But like when I think of these, like, so are like these tablets and everything, I'm assuming they're just gonna go to like COD Mobile, you know what I mean, or something like that. Because I mean, as much as I joke about it, I'm sure we're not gonna be on the same server, and it's like, I don't know, like, are they really? Do they have like such a manage on this to just be like expanding and expanding like that? Like, I feel like we complain more about them than we talk good, and it's like the fact that they're buying this stuff up is good, but it's like, can you guys manage that type of workload also? Like, as you guys are going through layoffs and everything else, like, I don't know. I feel like the game is more in the shitter than like in a positive light right now, and so it's like, I
You
don't know,
make a good
and I
point.
know we have more to get to on like Call of Duty in general. So it's like, you know what I mean. So I don't know. It's just very, it's exciting, yes, but then also I'm kind of like, well, then what does this mean though? Is Microsoft going to be giving them more money to like, start managing this shit? Is these
And
3 days in the office? Like,
is more money going to solve it? They have a lot of money.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. I feel like I look at it on both ways. It's like, oh, that's cool, but then I guess we'll have to see, because the fan base you have right now isn't really happy. So the fact that you guys are going to go take on two other markets, it's like, all right, well, let's see how they do. I guess to be a little skeptical on it, but
No, I think you're totally right. I mean, I have no hope for the Mac versions of the game. Like, whatever. If you're streaming, sure, knock yourself out. Cloud gaming is for the birds. But this Nintendo stuff.
no,
You
I
make
think
a
that's
super good
exciting.
point. Like, but I mean, to your point though, like, is that like I don't play Apex on Nintendo Switch. I remember when it came out, and I was like, let's go. And I guess I've played it on vacation a couple of times, but I'd rather play Splatoon. You know what I mean? Like, I'd much rather play Splatoon because it's not even the same game. There are some things, some parts of the experience you can't really port to a smaller, or you can't put on a tablet, or that doesn't work for cloud, or it doesn't work for handheld. There are other reasons that it just doesn't work there, even if you want to, or you give it the green light, or you make the deal. So I think you make a really good point because it's essentially making a different game, right?
Hmm.
There's a lot that's different to it when we talk about even Apex Mobile shutting down and these other things. Like, it splits a lot of your company and your company's attention, and everything that's different. You need to have different set of eyes on it. So, I think you make a really good point. I see what they're doing, trying to move the industry, but I have close to no faith on the quality of the games. Like, I'm not willing to play. I'm not playing COD on my Switch, dude. Like, I'm not doing that.
I wonder how much of a say like Nintendo has in the game as well too. I guess. Do you think that they would work with like that if Microsoft owns
No.
it and if they're merging, or is it just like they're just allowing their game on their platform, right? The,
Unless they start to make a really bespoke version, right? Which is what we're talking about. Then it's like COD Nintendo. It's like
right,
that's a slippery slope. How quickly do you have the Mii's, right? That's
right,
what they're
right,
called.
right.
How quickly is do you end up running through COD shooting other Mii's and amiibos or whatever? It's just COD Nintendo seems weird. It's also a cultural mismatch, if that makes sense. Like I guess that you could play like there have been killer games on Nintendo, but I can only think of like Doom and like GoldenEye, like old shit. Time Splitters, they're all not
Hmm.
real violence.
Yeah, and I wonder how it'll work for the games too. Like, well, I guess we'll save
I
it for
mean,
that.
I
But
think
you know, the games
to piggyback off of Anton, technical aspect of it, they're gonna have to descale games, and they're gonna have to figure out whole new like mechanics to make up for like the controls on a Nintendo. So how is it gonna transfer over? Like, there's gonna be some stuff that's not gonna transfer over on a technical level, you know?
Mhm. We'll have to follow on that. I feel like I don't know, not to be like negative on it, because it obviously is exciting and that's big, but just to kind of play both sides, I guess. Well, we'll have to see. That's how much money was that again? Did they say how much that 10-year deal was?
No, undisclosed.
The
No,
deal is efforts to convince regulators to. Oh no, that's
no,
acquisition.
it's
Right?
not.
No, it's not undisclosed. I was
Yeah,
wondering
it's
about
not
that
a.
because Nintendo shiesty, bro. They have to go in their bag for that.
This boy always pocket watching, unless Microsoft gave them the deal, though. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, I think Microsoft gave them the big deal.
Like Nintendo was asking them, like, "Hey, can we bring this over?"
No, I think Microsoft went over to them. I mean, again, put yourself in their position where they're like, all right, so PlayStation's saying it's bad for the industry for us to get this big acquisition, this biggest thing that has is so important for us. And they might block it because it's like anti-regulation, right? It's like when Kobe wanted to go to the Lakers and shit, and they're like, hold on, or Chris Paul wanted to go to the Lakers, and they're like, hold on, this is bad for basketball, and we're like, what? You're blocking it
And then
because
next
it's
year,
too good
LeBron
for
was
us?
in fucking Miami.
Right, but it's like what if the Lakers called and they were like, all right, look, well they called everybody who was the Suns are like bullshit and the Trailblazers are calling bullshit and they're like, yo, we're gonna give you all draft picks, like everybody's gonna get to eat off this, don't even worry, and then they stop throwing a fit, then nobody blocks what you got going on. So it's, I mean, the idea that they went to Nintendo, there's the big three, and now
Yeah.
two of them are together. Plus, they got they're wrapping their hands around the rest of the PC market. When you think of PCs, I don't think we think of Xbox Game Pass, as being so big. But right, there's like, there's Steam, but then what I mean, is Microsoft not already a big player there? They have them, they have Microsoft, they wrap around GeForce, like they are just going to get all the players in PC. So it'll be PCs, Nintendo, Xbox, and PlayStation on an island.
I'm such a nerd, dude. I don't know why. I was just like, so is PlayStation like Cersei, Danny King's Landing, and
Yes.
Xbox is like the Starks, and they're like rallying like the Aarons and like
We're going to get all the banners. And PlayStation's up
we're
in their
gonna get all
castle
the
like,
houses.
fuck it.
We're about to storm south on y'all niggas. Then fine. That's
PlayStation's
how this is
shaving their
gonna be.
PlayStation's shaving their head like, fuck it then. This means war. All my babies are dead. You stole everything from me. Oh, don't let them take Call of Duty. After they take Call of Duty, is on. PlayStation's get ruthless.
Oh man, that's
Metaphor
funny.
of the year for Anton. All right, we're moving on from that. This is cool. Coming from The Verge. Over the last 2 decades, Blumhouse Productions has made a name for itself in the world of horror, working on films like Paranormal Activity, Get Out, and more recently, Megan in 3 Megan. Now the company is expanding into the world of video games. The new division is simply called Blumhouse Games and will be focused on original horror-themed games for console, PC, and mobile audiences. Shout Microsoft. The company says, essentially, Blumhouse will be acting as a publisher of sorts, working with indie developers on projects with budget below $10 million. Division President Zach Wood says there's a unique opportunity for horror and the genre in the indie game space, and I'm thrilled about teaming up with Blumhouse to meaningfully leverage the company's brand, reputation, and creative talent. That last part really gets me. What do you guys think about this one? You here for Blumhouse?
I like it. That last, like what he said, comes off really meaningful, like really genuine, I guess, you know. I mean, to me at least. So it's like,
The last piece was what really lined up for me. What was that, Anton? What's on your mind?
I feel like I don't play enough of these horror games. So I don't know. You know, I feel like a lot of like the real, at least from what I see from like whenever I watch streamers online, like mainly Hollow, I would say. Like whenever you play a lot of these, there are a lot of good indie horror games on PC, but
Right.
not really for. And that's what I was trying to see. Like, okay, they ain't for console. I'm like, okay, that's cool because I know that what was the anthology series, I believe it was like a horror series that got converted for console, and I thought that, I mean, I love those, you know what I mean. And then there was another one on Xbox Game Pass. I can't remember. I couldn't really play that because it was like super graphic. I was like, all right, Eli, stop coming in here. You know what I mean?
This man having bad dreams.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't really play too many
I
horror movies, you know. So like not to, but
but I
it
think
should
it
be
does
cool.
make sense, and you just I don't what you're saying reminds me like there's space for this, and one I think it works for the genre. Like it's weird, but I even like low budget horror movies. I don't like just like low budget movies. I'm not just watching like a low budget comedy. Like it's weird. But low budget horror movies that don't take themselves too seriously is like its own genre. You know what I mean? And they're good, right? You can see people just being silly. Either way, I think it's kind of the same for the games. Like the mechanic is so tried and true. Like humans being afraid that something is going to come and get us. Like any and every human understands that. It's so universal. It makes me think of the Roblox game I play with the kids sometimes. I think I've told you guys about this before. It's really simple. You like go all your little Roblox go up in this house, and then you all go up in a room and like lay down. It's like a big sleepover. You like go to bed, and when you're laying down, like you all pick a room and you lie down, and then this like scary man comes in the house, and you all have to run away from it. It's the silliest, simplest game. It ends up being really fun. You have to. It's so weird. You have to like eat pizza to heal yourself. So they come in rounds. So like the scary guy comes and you have to run out, and if he catches you, you die. But if you survive, you have to go and collect the pizza, and then like the map kind of expands. You have like the bedroom, and then the full house. Then the basement opens up, and you just kind of play until you die. You know those like simple games. They program 50 levels and to see how far you can make it.
Yeah.
I probably spent 25 hours on this game with my kid. It's actually kind of fun. But that's my point. Like it is such a unique space where in the super indie game, like that's a Roblox game, but you can still program it to be fun. The like repeatable, here it comes, run away. This is the bad guy. We're the good guy. You know what I mean?
What's the really popular one? Isn't it Dead by Daylight? Is it Dead by Daylight like
That was really
competitive?
popular. Oh, I don't know.
I could have
Jack?
swore they have like Dead by Daylight, or what's the other one where they're, I don't
Left for Left,
see, I don't really play the
Left
horror
for
games.
Blood or something like
Back
that.
for no, not
Back for Blood, yeah.
There was the one
What's five?
where they have like Jason Voorhees and all these different, like you're the
Oh, and you
you're the
chase
killer
around
and there's like
people?
a group of people like you have to get. I
Yeah,
don't.
yeah.
Oh,
Friday
is
the
that
13th or something.
is that why they made that Dragon Ball Z game like that? Sorry, I digress.
I don't know. When you were talking about that, sorry, this is off topic, but I remember seeing on TikTok someone had modded like a horror game, like a SpongeBob horror game, where it was like you were in Squidward's house, and he was like like walking around like you were trying to like get away from him. I don't know
You
why.
see?
You were
That's
talking, that
well,
shit was
that's
so
that's what I'm saying though, right? Like you can put it in almost any
funny.
scenario. I'm so mad at you. That's
You
like the
just
type of
chasing
game
them.
playing on Roblox. And I don't know what Five Nights at Freddy's is, but it's another one the kids play. It's
Yeah,
like
it's
it's
like
supposed to
that.
be a horror
It's
thing.
basically that. Yeah.
Yeah, right? Like so I don't know. I see what they're saying and the opportunity or the idea rather to layer in the opportunity to layer in some of their IP, and like you said, that's what you said there, right? The brand, so their IP, and then really their creative talent is like, what if you took those bones but really told better stories, right?
Right.
Like what if you because it's all storytelling. The bones are there, but how do you really get in? And that's what they're good at. That's what they've been doing a great job of is telling different stories, right?
And like you don't have to do like scary and just be like gory. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What
I
if?
think that's one reason that's kind of checked me out of that like genre most
Mhm.
times is because it's like dude, like you don't have a movie doesn't have to be scary to be gore. Like Paranormal Activity. Oh my god, bro, that had the society in a chokehold when that came out. Do you
And
remember?
Get Out
And there was
too,
nothing.
right?
Well, yeah, you know. So
I
so
think
and
that's the
actually, it's funny.
point.
My wife wanted to see Megan, so I think we're gonna watch that tonight. But
All right, homework for the
so
team. I think you
but
hit the nail directly on the head. We've been saying there's this opportunity, and he alludes to the opportunity, and like not to give away their sauce, but we don't know them. I think that's it, right? I think they sit down and they're like, how do we tell horror stories without just being gory, without leaning on that crutch, which can be which is a method of storytelling all its own. Like Rob Zombie movies are cool, but how do we lean into these psychological thrillers and tell different stories? What does a Get Out style game look like? Right?
yeah.
Like that's another VR game. I'm just putting it out there. Everything in VR that I don't play. But what's that game like? Right? Like that type of stuff could be really fun where you're really trying to get out of the house, get out of some type of whatever, one flew over the cuckoo's nest scenario.
No, I don't even think you can make a game like that because to me it would have to be dark and have like puzzles and mad like uh what is that, like epilepsy, like flash like warning shit in
Yeah.
it, you know what I mean?
Like
So
Max Payne, but without the guns and the bullet time.
yeah, but we live in the soft times, bro. Mad.
Not Shad. His wizard goes from Slytherin house. He's got
Bro.
scars.
Right here. Dog.
Hey, what's that
When I-
curse that we can't say in Gryffindor? He knows the
Perfect
curses,
answer.
bro.
Perfect answer. He's
Avada Kedavra.
He said that shit out loud. Wow, this nigga's wild. He's wild, boy. We can't say that. We would lose points from our house, and we're not about that life. Moving on into sad news. I know we're such dorks, bro. You get out of here with your old Cersei metaphors. All right, let us have Harry Potter. Let us have.
He really
this.
said Cersei.
He really said Cersei on the pod, and then we talked about it for like another minute and a half. Whatever,
His
man.
dog's named Arya. What do you mean?
Who's dog?
Oh, my dog.
Like, it's not me. What do you mean? It's not
Bro
me.
said who? He said who? He felt mad offended. Who else? Who stole my dog name? No, that's so funny. Shouts to Nymeria. My friend Nat has a dog named Nymeria.
That was gonna be the name. That's funny. Unless I'm
Antoine
mistaken.
saved me from that one. And he's like, bro, don't name it that. And I was like, are you? What about? Should I do Arya? He's like, bro, if you name it Nymeria, even Game of Thrones people are gonna look at you like, come on, bro.
Nah, fam. Nymeria's the
I was like,
he's the
dog,
safest
if I was at the dog park and I heard somebody go, Nymeria, I'd strictly just look.
I sound like that.
I'd go over there like Red Wedding, right?
Might as well. If you ever sound like that, Red Wedding me, please.
I was like, Arya's tough. Arya, and he'll just give you the you know what I mean, like the faceless look, like the.
Dog has no
alright, I
face,
feel
bro.
that.
Did
But
you guys
Dog
see
has
that?
no face.
You see that clip going around of this girl watching Game of Thrones? Did you guys see that clip? And then the guy's like recording his wife or girlfriend. And he's like, she's watching Game of Thrones. What episode is this? And all the comments are Red Wedding, Red Wedding, Red Wedding. She's like, and then she starts crying. Like she starts for real, just starts like painfully crying. And you can tell it's right after they get Catelyn. Like, I gotta find that shit. Oh, it's so funny. Oh, speaking of the Red Wedding,
and the regards, I will never forget hearing that for the first time.
Never.
That's like another one of those things when they talk about it was special. That's one of those moments. What being in there for the first time, dude. That was just.
Speaking of everybody dying and losing your whole family, from Insider Gaming, big news. In the last few weeks, the Multiverses community playing the game on Steam has dwindled by more than 99%. Their launch was just 7 months ago. At present, fewer than 1,000 peak daily players are being recorded on Steam, which could be a representative example of how the game is performing on other platforms, we would assume. According to SteamCharts.com, Multiverse's all-time high sits at 153,000 players, which was a figure recorded when the game was first released in January. The game dropped to just 230 active players at one point. Ooh. Is Multiverses already dead? Have you guys gone back? Are you updating this game? Anybody?
No, I wanted to like it. I really did because of all the characters in the IP. But it's like, how do you compete with like I guess like Super Smash? You know what I mean? like
Everyone's just playing
popularity
COD and
wise.
2K.
I
Man,
was about to
Yeah,
say not even that too. Yeah, but I mean, like God of War came out, like
true.
like Elden Ring, like they had
Wow.
mad competition, and especially I feel like trying to, like you're saying, piggybacking off of Super Smash. It's like I don't know who's really gonna take the time to.
if you're at Smash, are you just flexing right now? Like you fucking thought. Yeah, how dare you? How dare you come up in my
I'm gonna
space? We didn't even release a new game. We didn't even do anything. Sure. All right.
they gave that niggas the Tom and Jerry just holding the head.
Why I gotta?
Like get out of here.
Oh man, I feel
Yeah,
bad for them. We posted that Walter White
yeah.
clip a couple of weeks back, and we got like some good feedback. And I think one guy was just like, "Wait, people still play this?" I was like, "Oh, I don't know. I
That
thought the
guy's ahead
news
of
was
his time.
important." That guy's paying attention, is what he's doing.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
not trolling. Oh,
I was like, "Oh, thanks." He just dropped it like, "Somebody get these guys on." Like, fuck it, who are these guys?
oh.
Oh shit! All right, let's move in. Let's move into games. Anton, you want to slide us in there?
Yeah, man. Well, actually, I thought this was pretty cool. What? What I miss? All
Chad, you're the worst.
right. So I thought this was cool, man. From IGN, headline was Sony State of Play February 2023. Everything announced. In case you missed it, this is going to be coming out. So Sony's State of Play for February 2023 is a wrap. Here are the big updates. We got our biggest look yet at Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League, which showed off the game's combat, RPG, and live service elements. This looks pretty excited. I have a trailer saved for that later. Zangief, Lily, and Cammy have all been confirmed for Street Fighter 6. Each character got a brief gameplay showcase displaying their unique fighting styles. We got a lengthy trailer for the upcoming Baldur's Gate 3, along with the release date of August 31st. Capcom's upcoming Resident Evil 4 remake, which confirmed the presence of Mercenaries mode. Bungie shared the launch trailer for Destiny's 2 latest expansion, Lightfall, which just came out today. Pretty excited to see that. And Sony debuted 5 new games coming to PSVR 2 sometime in 2023. Which actually I almost butted in earlier, but I was just gonna wait for this. Like I saw they've been pushing that real heavy lately. The PSVR 2, they've been pushing a lot of games for that. That's pretty cool. But what do you guys think of any of these? Anything that stuck out?
They are moving on that one. Anton has been updating the games. This was cool. I like it. Was like a light. It was a quality light update. You know what I mean? It was like that. No headline. Nothing in here was like, boom, ball drop. You know what I mean? But it was a bunch of quality, solid updates to what I felt like our core communities that people really care about. Right? Suicide Squad in DC. Like there are people that really care about and are looking for that. Street Fighter 6, huge community. What's Baldur's Gate, and why do I feel like I know that? Is that like a super
So
old game?
yeah, so there's Baldur's Gate 1 that existed back in the
Like
day of like
PS?
Diablo. Yeah, so
Okay.
like think
Oh,
like old
okay.
school Diablo
That's what
where
I
you
was like.
play.
It's way in the back of the head.
It's like turn based.
Shout to Shad. All right, I was like, I think I know that. Yeah, Resident Evil 4, Destiny 2. Every single one of those names has like a large and established fan base. So, I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, and
Does, So- does,
piggybacking.
does Sony own Capcom?
I thought that.
Do we just
No,
like not know that?
I thought Cap. No, maybe actually. I'm just not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna speculate. I don't know.
While both no, it says that they can. Yeah, that's weird.
You see that?
Yeah, I just thought. Well, I don't know why they had the Capcom game at Sony State of Play, but whatever, I'll take it. Sure.
Maybe they've been partners with Lion Long or something. Following off of Street Fighter, Street Fighter Duel is a free-to-play mobile RPG arriving in February. Headline from Game Informer: Capcom and Crunchyroll Games are launching a new free-to-play mobile RPG called Street Fighter Duel. Similar to character collection games like Summoner's War and Marvel Strike Force, Street Fighter Duel includes more than 40 Street Fighter characters for players to recruit with the objective of building a team across the franchise. Each team consists of 3 fighters with signature abilities who can be leveled up and customized with new skins. That's pretty cool.
You're pretty cool.
Are you? I wanted to ask. Or I added this one. I was doing that Street Fighter research, and I got I've seen a ton of ads for this game. on like social, which makes sense. I mean, I guess I'm kind of the audience, even though I don't really play the mobile games. But I did want to ask one: do you guys play any of these? Have you played Strike Force or any of those kind of card bases? The Star Wars one. Have you played any of those?
Mm-mm.
No. Some of my friends like are really into them, like ripping packs and playing the card. They're really into that. But I've
I,
heard great things about Strike Force. You guys know Jarrell, right? So Jarrell is really into
yeah.
Strike Force. He plays it all the time. We were on the
I,
plane the other day, and he was like, just for like hours going through Strike Force. It's like, all right, bro, is that what you got?
I feel like I'm not that technical for that, or I'm not
Mm.
like that technical into those type of games. I don't know if that's really like the right word, but like I feel like that's a whole different like there were people that played Pokemon and there was people that like actually played Pokemon. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
like
collecting Pokemon. Yeah.
like there was like the niggas in lunch that like sat in the corner playing like that's like the vibes I get from these type of games. They just grew up and became developed like software developers and just converted it into like, modern day shit. Which not a bad thing, but I was just never like that technical, I think, into like some of these games. Which is funny you say that. I have heard Marvel Strike Force. I've only seen good things about that. And I
Yeah.
watched Courage when it came out. He did a stream for it. I mean, it looks interesting, but I don't know. Maybe I just got to give it a try. I've never really like I don't know. When it's always one of those like would I rather play this or this, and none of these have ever kind of given me like enough of like I'll give this a try, or you know what I mean, or maybe they're not really sticking with me, but I should try it. I mean, for Street Fighter, I'd definitely try it. Why not?
Right. Like I could get into the little storytelling and I don't know, like the mechanic must work. People do it, so it must be kind of fun.
Yeah.
I'm looking for the right IP. Maybe a little Harry Potter cards, Chad.
Yeah.
We'll keep going back to Harry Potter until Anton starts casting some spells. You know what I mean?
Revelio.
I'll be here all day.
And then there was also news that Mortal Kombat 12 was scheduled for a 2023 release. I thought that was pretty cool. Excited
That's
for that.
hype.
I definitely want to get back into that. I love the character selections that they've been dropping for that. I feel like I got into it way too late, but I am excited. I think I want to get into that this time around. Because we have 10 and 11, I think, Shad, right?
Yes, 11 is like the really good one. It's got the super immense like story.
Yeah.
I didn't beat it all. I just watched it on YouTube.
In the house, old purple controller Bay. She's ill at Mortal Kombat. Like she's like very good. Mortal Kombat and Rocket League. I almost said Rocket Power. Those are her game. Like she, not like those are the games she plays. She embarrassed. She's mean to people online. I think I told you I've come in and I see Rocket League all the time, like 6 or 7 to 0, and I'm like, she only wins 6 or 7 to 0 or loses. You know what I mean? Like 8 to 3. Like it's either she dominates everyone or you play like a somebody who never touches grass, and then she gets on
So
that. But either way,
skill-based matchmaking sets in.
right? Then I'm like, oh yeah, you're playing kids that are really about this. But either way, she is also super good at Mortal Kombat 12, so it's fun because I get to see it a little bit, right? Because
Yeah.
I'm not playing the fighting games. I don't know. I'm playing my kids. I beat them.
It's funny. It's so random. She got some Ellie in her, huh?
Fam, I'm telling you, I've been seeing her go in. I just stay out the
I,
way.
I had some Call of Duty stuff, but I'll save it and keep it all together. But I did want to jump into. I thought this was interesting because last pod we had been talking about that game Atomic Heart. We looked at the trailer with our boy Jensen. We are like, what the hell is this about? You know, different era Russia and all of that. And then since then the game came out and it is actually free on Game Pass if you want to check it out. But
Oh,
there was a lot of controversy around it, and so I thought it looked cool. So I was like, what's going on? Like why? And I assumed just because it had to do with Russia, maybe, and there was actually a lot that I ended up uncovering that went into this. So let me see here. So, and oh, I missed the site. Oh, well. So, anyways, let me get this out. Oh, yeah.
ASR
So, from
Technica?
arstechnica.com, here we go. Ukraine's Ministry of Digital Transformation wrote that Atomic Heart has Russian roots and romanticizes communist ideology and the Soviet Union. The ministry cites the game's toxicity, potential data collection of users, and use of funds from the game to conduct a war against Ukraine. The statement asks for an outright ban on the game in Ukraine, but calls on other countries to consider limiting distribution of the game. So then, leading into that, I was wondering, well, how Russian is Atomic Heart's developers really? And so furthering in that article, it said, at a minimum, Atomic Heart is not entirely distanced from Russia or inactive in its highly state influence economy. The game is available in Russia exclusively through VK Play, an arm of the VK Group, which is run by Vladimir Putin ally and son of former Prime Minister. VK Group and Vkontakte, the most popular social network in Russia, are majority owner of the media arm of energy giant Gazprom, which is majority owned by the Russian state. Munfish CEO once worked as a creative director for Mail.ru, VK's original entity. And then furthering that, Munfish investors also include Tencent, the Chinese gaming giant, and Gem Capital. Gem's Capital's founder, Anatoly Pali, sorry if I'm getting these wrong probably, formerly served as the first deputy general director for a Gazprom division, and Gem is actively involved in the Russian energy market. So there's a little bit more on there, but long story short, they are heavily involved in this game, and there is, I guess, a little bit more ties than I guess we really knew. And I don't know, that kind of made me think of, when we talk about these companies that own these games and who this money, like Harry Potter just made 800. Who is this money going to? Like when it all gets broken up at the end of the day. So I thought that was definitely interesting and kind of an eyebrow raiser. I feel like we live in a time, at least that I can think of, where, like, has this ever really been an issue before? Like, I know that games have been banned in other countries, but I guess for like this type of propaganda, I've always thought of it more from like a violence issue. You know what I mean? Not like actual like shit like this. And even when I jumped in the game for 5 minutes, like in the first couple minutes in the intro, they talk about like, wow, it's so beautiful here, man. It's just like China. Like they really got it together there. And I was kind of like, whoo, these guys are doing it, dude. So I don't know. What do you guys think about this? That was a little surprising to me. I didn't know any of that.
I gotta be honest, when we decided to start a gaming podcast, I didn't think you were gonna put us out there like that. This boy's out here with all the buzzword, like I don't, everyone's listening. There's balloons all over the place, and you're just out here saying all of the popular countries and terms and phrases. You're like, let's just read through all the names. Here's ally this guy, and his ally this guy over there. What happened to keep a low profile?
Hey, I didn't write this.
What happened to keeping a low profile? Now we're on the radar.
And quote, ARS Technica.
The Gazproms. I don't want Munfish coming for me. I don't want the Munfish coming for me. And honestly, though, but without being silly, because this is very silly. That's intense. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm not surprised. I didn't look at the game or any of the themes, and you might remember I saw it, and I was like, wait, but what is this about, though? But I mean, they spent the money, right? They spent money to market themselves in a way that is simple, but for sure effective, right? It's like, well, let's get people they know and put it in places that they go, right? They got that guy that were like, yeah, we kind of know this dude's face. And then they, bought ads, they created video and put ads, in places that we would see it. And we played it on the podcast, right? Like it caught our attention in that type of way. Oh man, we're allies now. Oh man.
Well, even to kind of say that, like, not supporting it, but I mean, I'm sure there were people in Russia that were like, yo, man, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, what was old boy on F1? He got booted from the team. Mazepin, right? Yeah, but I mean, just because of I'm sure there were people that kind of got sucked into it that didn't want, you know what I mean, just because of how it runs. And even when if I remember reading, this game was announced in 2018. So, I mean, who could have known when they started developing this, all this shit was going to happen, and then now they're getting, you know what I mean? So, I don't know.
Somebody could have known. Oh, man, I don't want to get into that. I was just thinking about today, like, they had the World Cup over there, and I was like, did them niggas know? Did they know that they were about to pull a fast one on us when they had the whole world over there?
Yeah.
See how quickly we dive. But the other part of this, I thought, which is not related to that, but interesting is I forget how controlled things like gaming and social media are by the government in other places, right? They're like V Contact and V Gaming and V. It's like all. Imagine if we had to get all of our games for like. What if Biden like really cared about our video games? You know what I mean? He's coming out like, hold on a minute, you can get the new Call of Duty from WhiteHouse.gov. Like, I'm cool. That's just really interesting to think about.
I guess that's why I know Russia got a bunch of heat when it came out on Modern Warfare 2 when you shot up the airport. Remember?
Is this recently or this is years ago?
No, that was years when the original Modern Warfare 2. No Russian when.
Fam, I thought about this for years, and like, look at us on our political podcast. I just thought about this for years. Like, if you're from Russia, right? Like, you're over there, and the Americans that make all the movies and tell all the big stories and shit have just made you the bad guy of every story in every video game for the last 40 years. Fuck you guys! I'd be so tight.
That's what
I'm
I'm
sick
saying.
of
It's
Rocky.
like, I'm not trying to play the devil's advocate, but I'm sure there's like someone over there that's a decent human being that's like, man, what the fuck did I do? I think I
I'm
drank
just trying to make
this.
video games. Like, the fuck?
Right. Well, and actually, I did want to shout out the reason why this even caught my attention was because there was this dude, Harenko, dude. He made this video called "Please Don't Buy an Atomic Heart." Apparently, he's a Ukrainian vlogger, YouTuber, and that video got 2 million views. And like Asmon Gold and mad other streamers, like Hassan Abi and like all these other dudes are watching it, trying to see, you know what I mean, like where it came from. And so that kind of influenced me to be like, get into all this other stuff. But lastly, regarding Atomic Heart, though, this is the one where they cannot slide with me. I don't know, they kind of got me fucked up. If you want to open up with the Twitch Atomic Hearts, did you see that?
Shad's loading now. Ooh,
So so
go
they
back.
did get heavily criticized for two different things. Apparently, there was like a 6 hour like sex cutscene in it in the original version of the game,
Six
like on
hours?
some yeah, like on some like cyber or what was that cyberpunk like sex robot shit. Apparently that they removed from the game. I didn't get the leak for that. I ended up seeing that later. But then this was the one that caught me though. There was also a racist caricature in one of the Soviet era cartoons. So like if you go to a save house in it, so this is in like a save house. This cartoon, and they had one of the cartoons in there. It was in blackface.
Oh, Shad's playing it now. Did I miss it?
Yeah, yeah. Go back, Shed.
I was looking at the article. Sorry, I was trying to read that. I was cause this
All right,
guy,
here. No. Watch.
like a wolf
This.
guy.
Mhm. Wolf shoots it and misses, and then
Oh,
yeah,
the blackface Indian situation.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can't do that anymore. Looked like Drake from the T-shirt from Duppy Freestyle or whatever.
It really did, honestly. It
It
really
really
does.
did.
Now
Honestly,
that you
very
say
did.
that.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. That's like one of those things where like I can imagine them being in. I guess I won't speak. I don't have. Actually, I do. You know, I won't speak for them, but I can see my Russian friends being like, "Wait, that's not funny." I've seen that on cartoons. You guys didn't see Tom and Jerry? It's like, oh yeah, but the thing because you guys got our cartoons later than we did, so we moved on. Eh. It's weird. There's no
look at
black
black.
people in Russia, right? They're like, look at that different guy. They do stuff other than us. Like it's tough. It's just not excusable. Well,
I don't
yeah. I
know.
mean, I don't know. I wasn't gonna play this game anyways, but you did try to sell us. So now that we found out about Anton's allyship, finding out now in front of our whole audience that you also hate black people. What a
Dude,
day.
my name is Russian too. They're putting me in a bind. It's crazy.
We
Whenever I
should
meet
have,
people,
Chad. We
whenever I
should have
meet
known,
people,
bro.
Russians are always like, Anton, are you Russian? I have a horrible Russian accent. I'm sorry, but you know what I mean. They always hit me with that, and I'm like, no, I'm not.
How often
Sadly,
you meeting Russian people?
when I was in the branch, actually, a lot, oddly,
See that?
but
Keep
oh
an eye,
well.
Which
Chad.
branch? Which
Keep an
branch,
eye.
dog?
That's
Bro, I only
important.
met you when I was 8. What were you doing before then?
Military branch?
How old were you before then? What were you? Who are you, bro? Who are you really?
Who
If
trained
you
you?
really
Who
want to
sent
know,
you?
I wrote a show called Homeland. Go ahead and check that out.
Who sent you?
Oh no, I'm sorry, the Americans. That's the one. But no,
Ah, you fucked it.
and then lastly, I'll jump into our little Call of Duty section here on Modern Warfare 2. Well, firstly, I'll start it off with so following up with what we've been talking about last week, how we were saying how they changed the game to be not a continuation later this year, but they're going to actually release a new title, and it was going to be Sledgehammer, right? So I might have got ahead of that. But so coming from our boys at Hitmarker, according to Bloomberg's Jason Schreier, the upcoming COD will be more Modern Warfare with a plan to carry over content from Modern Warfare 2. The project will be developed, like I said, by Sledgehammer Games, who were most recently responsible for the 2021 COD Vanguard, but also played a significant role in the development of Modern Warfare 3 in 2011. This development cycle appears to be a similar of that Modern Warfare 3, which Infinity Ward collaborating with the studio in both cases. So, just to kind of piggyback on that and confirm it is going to be Sledgehammer, and they are going to be dropping a continuation of Modern Warfare 2. I know I went on a rant about that. It's frustrating, but coming from leaks and other things, I know that you had kind of mentioned previously, Kevin, how we haven't really been talking about the season and stuff like that and what's been going on. So just
Is
like
that like
accumulated.
was that like when Drake put out an album that was a playlist?
What you mean?
So they're putting out like it's like not DLC because it's a new game, but it's a
Right.
new game of the same game
Right.
that
So
you have
I
to
don't really know
download.
how they're gonna do that. From
It's not an album. It's a playlist.
right, and not
Okay.
and a full price playlist. Apparently, it's gonna be
Full
like a
price playlist.
$70 like like in a whole
I
other game, but
I will
not
buy
like
$70 DLCs. I do. All right. Sorry.
I just don't get why. What was the point of COD 2.0, and then what is this going to be COD 2.5 or something? I
Do you
don't know.
remember Final Fantasy X2? Final Fantasy 10 2 was my shit. Honestly, I mean, it was fine. But it's like the same thing, right? Like, all right, technically it makes sense. I just don't want it to make sense. You sound silly. Yeah,
Yeah.
fair enough.
So I'm just going to kind of rifle a few of these things that I've seen, at least in regards to this current season. It's looking all right. You know, like I said, they got some decent content out. They got some old maps out, reskinned. I guess we'll have to see when the Reloaded comes out. I don't have a date for that I've seen online yet, but we should be seeing, I guess, a lot more content. So from YouTube sources and Twitter and all that, apparently for this game before the next one comes out, there's going to be 6 seasons total. So we're in the second now. So apparently before October, November comes, we're going to get, I don't know, squeeze in 4 more seasons somehow. So that should be kind of exciting. Each season, I guess they're guaranteeing a licensed operator. So like how we got like Messi and Pogba in them. I don't know who's going to come for this season. That's kind of exciting. Or if it is, it's you, Shad. It's going to be
Yeah,
Chad.
we're
I did
finalizing
hear.
Contracts right now.
I did hear
Kevin's
that
helping me.
rumor.
We're gonna be Shad, like Doctor Disrespect in 2K. He's just gonna be fucking like, what the fuck? How'd you do this, bro? He's like, yeah, I just been doing like the animation and the face scan. I'm the face of Call of Duty, dude.
You didn't see that coming? What do you mean?
But I thought that was pretty exciting. So I don't know. I guess we'll have to see who the licensed operators are gonna be. And there's also currently talking about PlayStation exclusive, a PlayStation exclusive bundle for one of the operators, Ronin. So if you have PlayStation Plus, you can go ahead and get that for free. It's a pretty dope skin. I got it myself. Good looking, y'all. Thought that was cool. And other news about, like we were saying, the Activision Microsoft acquisition. What is it?
Acquisition?
Acquisition. Yeah, sorry. Apparently, what's been rumored or what's been going around, and I saw this from a couple of videos, is that because of the titles like Vanguard and I guess they're not as popular. So what they're going to want to do is stick to Modern Warfare and Black Ops titles and just give these games like 2-year lifespans. So we're going to have this game for this year and then the extension for Modern Warfare, and then the next game should be a Black Ops one that they do that, so forth. So
So they're gonna go back and forth between those guys. What
Right.
are the other games? There's Advanced Warfare,
Right.
Vanguard, and that's it. What else is there? Am I forgetting stuff?
World at War, but that was an older one.
Right. Which World at War actually, I think that
Wasn't
got
that
pretty good.
long.
Yeah, that got pretty. That was like 10, like 12 years ago, I think.
I'm
But
trying to
that
think of
got good reviews.
What are the
But-
other names? Because there's like between Black Ops and Modern Warfare, there's like 6 or 7. I mean, there's more than that. We covered that on the pod a while ago. It's like 12 games. But
Right.
of like canon, like main console games, there's just many of them.
That's what threw me off with it. It's like Modern Warfare 2, and I was like, wait, didn't that game already come out? Shouldn't this be like Modern Warfare 5
No,
or
Modern
something
Warfare
like that?
2, not Modern Warfare 2. I see what you got. Next, they're gonna have Modern Warfare 2, yeah, with 2 O's, infinity sign forever. It's like Fast and the Furious. Just keep whatever. You're thinking too hard. All right, like I see what you're doing. You're thinking too hard. You got to not think about it.
So I don't know. So I guess those are the most nostalgic. Those are the biggest titles. That's what they're just gonna hopefully. I mean, who knows? That's pretty far out. This is all again depending on if this all goes through. But exciting if that does happen. So at least just stick with the stuff we know, and like we've been saying, stick to one title and just keep adding to it. So if it's like Black Ops 4, 5, 6, so forth every couple of years, cool, why not? Like the clip I sent you with Phase Rain, remember? It's like, stop making all these games, just make one and just perfect it. Like, like fuck.
We'll hang out. We're not going anywhere. $70 DLCs, new games. That's the same game with the same developer, but that's the old developer. Like, all right, whatever. New, old, same. We're gonna buy it. So just do better. We'll pay whatever you want to. Please do better. I hate your game. I'm still buying it on 2 consoles. Like, come on. Don't disrespect us like that.
To rifle a few more things. There's a small map from season 4 that's apparently going to be pushed up to this season 2 Reloaded launch. So I should be pretty excited because everyone has been complaining about the map rotation in that game. They need to get it out. Speaking of, apparently the core maps from the previous Call of Duties that everyone's been rumored that are going to be adding, they think that that's what they're going to add to the game that's dropping later this year, like the extension that Sledgehammer's that Sledgehammer's dropping. And so that's probably, again, it could be speculation, but that's rumor that that's how they're going to be able to get us to circle around. Because if they drop the content in the new game, everything from Modern Warfare 2 is transferable, apparently. So all of your skins and everything else, you can play it and it'll just carry over to the new game. Again, it's supposed to be a continuation. So I'm kind of thinking like Destiny 2 vibes, you know what I mean? Like we were saying, like how they just keep dropping. Like I think they're finally somewhat taking an approach to that. So who knows?
Do I get Rust?
Well, yeah. Well, that's the thing where, again, hopefully, but a lot of the old core maps, Rust, what is that? The airport and all, you know what I mean? All those wet work and all that shit should be coming back.
Can I
on the
ask you a
extension.
slightly unrelated question? And I'm doing a terrible job. You're killing this segment. And I'm like, let me ask you a bunch of non sequiturs. But is there also another game called Rust that's not?
Yeah, survival game. Actually, I have that. Which
That
I
makes me
wanted
very
to slap
mad. All
myself.
right.
I was mad when I'm sorry, just to quickly inject. I had to correct myself because last week I said I had The Forest and I was wrong. I have Green Hell. Very similar games, but very different.
That's the
Because we're talking
same
about
game.
Yeah, because we were talking about Sons of the Forest, and I was like, "Oh, I have that." Just thinking of like survival game with cannibals. Duh, I have, but no, I have Green, I have Green Hell. So I do want to play Sons of the Forest. Though I've been watching a lot of reviews on that. That drop, that game looks incredible. That would be a super fun game for us to play as a group, honestly.
It's really
It's a-
fun.
It's a multiplayer game?
Yeah, it's like online survival, like
Okay.
base builder, like just full survival game. It looks incredible. I'll say that for
Sign
next time.
me up.
But getting
Okay,
back
all right,
to
all
it,
right, all right.
lastly, leaks apparently for Halloween report an event called the Haunting of Al Mazrah on the map. So
I was like, what's
who knows what comes
Al-Mazrah?
with
I
that?
know that.
That should be cool. Yeah, all right. So who sees what comes with that if they bring back like the nighttime modes and like the zombies? Remember like that fast, like where everyone is chasing people down on the map and all that shit. Or maybe hopefully they come up with something new. We'll have to see. Oh, and zombies would be an extension of the game that comes out by Sledgehammer later this year. I forgot to add that, but that was also I remember seeing
I'll be fucking with
in the mix
zombies.
of everything.
That's
Yeah,
my shit.
yeah. So that's how, again, that's what they think is going to be how, because they're like, well, how are they going to get everyone to buy a new game when this just came out? So if everything transfers over, but then you get all of the old core stuff plus zombies and everything else, that's enough to sell a new game. Who knows? There was also a leaked, apparently coming in the fall later this year before the new game drops, a Mexican themed map called Las Almas. Apparently, yo, these data leakers, man, they be on it. This shit is crazy. How much of this like they see and ends up coming out, but that should be exciting. Las Almas, Al Mazrah, kind of similar, but
We're getting ethnic. You know what I mean? We're getting all of it.
I guess they want to change up the terrains. A lot of it has been the same of like the deserty, open map, hill, mountain. You know what I mean? Point
Since
of
we were
interest,
like
so.
9,
Right. So I guess
I
this
guess
hopefully is going to
10.
bring like new terrains to it in Mexico and all that. So we'll see.
I mean, I guess yeah, we've done out the World War II thing. We've done out the yeah, that's fair enough. What's a good map? Give me War on Mars. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Can we get Nuketown? Are they gonna have Nuketown come back at all?
Can we get Nuketown?
I don't know.
Please.
I didn't hear anything about that, but that is definitely a map I missed. I almost want to
Can you talk
download
to him?
Cold War just to play that. I do miss it.
Can you just talk to him for me? Just like let him know.
I'll send him.
We want
Nuketown,
Nuketown.
Let him know.
Nuketown Shad is a different Shad. I'm not sure we're ready for that.
Shaq gets off on
this
Nuketown.
podcast.
I played with him on Nuketown. He does get off on Nuketown, honestly.
I'm not.
He
Nuketown
sweats
Shad
on
is a
it.
different person. That guy plays game.
He's post brunch Marcus, bro. They're locked in.
He's
They're
post
building
brunch
that up.
Marcus.
Marcus. Shut up, Marcus.
Nate,
All right.
dead.
And then to lastly close it out for my DMZ peeps, mainly Kevin. Apparently they're bringing extraction balloons to DMZ, so I thought like a money deposit. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Oh, that's cool, but also fucks up the whole game, doesn't it?
Well,
That's
like
like-
for your money, because when you extract money, you can
Okay, my bad.
it's
Only
like
for your money.
XP. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's kind of fine. You know how sometimes they make those, like, they make changes to games to make them slightly easier, but then it ruins the game. Maybe I think we're still like, half and half of the old generation that's like, in my day, games were hard and you couldn't beat them. I'm like, I keep, like, when I die and I lose all my money, it sucks, but that's what makes it challenging. Like, that's what's fun. I don't know if I like this, to be honest. Maybe, but just like, get out alive or don't. I don't know.
Right. Get good, dog.
Get good,
Yeah,
bro.
get good. Like, I don't care if I suck. I don't I don't play enough to be really good, and that's okay with me. Like, it's not like you can't. You don't want it that bad, and I don't want it that bad.
That's what always builds up to those videos of like when streamers go in and they fail and they fail and they fail and they fail. I mean, look at these Elden Ring videos of people with bosses. Like before they fixed Godric, when these niggas could not beat him, and then they finally beat him, and they're just like. Or like millennia, you know what I mean? Like it's like that's what you know what I mean. It's because you have to
That's
figure
what
it
we're
out, like
going
the
for.
learning curve. Like make everything
Right.
fucking
That is the one part of like Harry Potter. Like, it's just not hard.
yeah.
I was just thinking that like there's some quests and shit where I'm like, I mean, you just like go do this. Just do it. I'm like, wait, I don't have to figure. There's not like a puzzle. I can't be the best. There's no score. Just fly over here and then fly back. Like, all right.
So linear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but that was it. I guess DMZ is going to get some more love with a new map. They had the Building 21 one as well, but then they're getting a new map, a new faction called Crown, which has tier 1 through 5, which has exclusive gun skins, loading screens.
Factions
characters.
are the good guys and the bad guys, right?
Well, there's 4 of them. There's like the Lotus. That's the one I'm in, but I think there's like 2 other ones as well. We haven't
There's
really
more.
done too much DMZ.
I thought it was like good guys. Oh, this is all DMZ stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
So depending on
all
like
right.
the contracts and the
run
different
DMZ.
things you do in DMZ, then you can like you get assigned to like different.
You can join
factions, I guess.
gangs.
Basically, yeah. And
Alright.
depending on which gang you get an exclusive skin.
Fair enough. Sign
You
me
know?
up. Did you guys see that skin with the giant dick?
On Call of Duty?
Yeah,
No. I saw they canceled
Well-
the monkey one.
that makes me a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, what?
I just jumped out all big like.
I don't know.
Wow, did you guys see that? I'm dropping this in the chat. Like, I was Googling as fast as I ever have because, like, I don't know.
Kevin's scrambling for defense right now.
I swear. I swear. Shad, open that up for me, my boy. If you, actually, I guess I can do it. You got it?
Yeah, okay. You got it.
Oh my god, it was a bit much.
That's mad,
Where is
boy.
this? I got so many tabs open. Oh yeah, no, I don't have it, Shad. You go ahead.
Got you. Habibi.
I got too many.
Oh.
You seen
Hold
that?
up.
yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, I have this
You
skin.
didn't
I
see
definitely
this?
haven't seen that though.
Wow, super pause. You would have this. Yeah, look at what you scroll down there, Shad.
Did you see
Down,
it?
down, down,
Hey,
down, down.
yo.
Hey, yo! What did they do? Why is he wearing fox ear? There's so much going on right now.
Hey, yo. What the?
Oh no! I don't know. Somebody over there had some time.
Why on the black character too? That's crazy.
That's somebody at Activision. You know
I
what?
appreciate it, but
This is what happened. They seen this and they said, "All y'all coming back to work. Everyone back in the office. Fuck it. Everybody come back." See, but I didn't make it up. There really was an operator skin. I was like, "Oh shit, that really
I
happened."
seen
right?
it.
Now we
Oh
seen
man, do you guys want
Yeah.
to check out Suicide Squad before we bounce out of here?
Yeah.
Yes. Kev, can you show the video? Because my audio won't let me do
Yeah,
it.
you know it. You know that I can.
Yo, Yeah, I want to plug too. I also did see this weekend there was a game X Defiant coming out from Ubisoft. I guess it was like there was like a private like player like screening of it. If you look that up, a lot of people are saying it's like it may again obviously the Call of Duty killer, but from what I saw in the videos and like from the reviews of the streamers that played it, it looked pretty interesting, dude. It has a lot of good gameplay because it's ex old Call of Duty players again that jump ship.
They
and
make
start their own shit.
Rainbow Six though, right?
Yeah,
I don't know if I trust it. Also, I thought
and
it
they
was Ubisoft.
and they've added like a lot of the characters from like their own like Ubisoft titles and like their like signature guns and that. So I don't know, it's pretty interesting. I'll look a little more into it and then we can bring it up next time. But just kind of wanted to plug that by the time this comes out.
Ubisoft.
But let's get on this trailer.
Here we go.
Have you
6
seen
minutes. I have not, but I'm not about to see the whole thing today. Okay. Is that Black Adam?
Oh, you know what? Hold on a sec.
Lex Luthor.
No, that's Dwayne.
Dwayne.
Is it happening now? Great. You will have Luther ASAP. Good news! You want Luther, all you
That's
have
the Flash.
is coming.
Ezra?
Oh, that's Brainiac.
So you're bad guys, but good guys.
Basically.
Oh, I get what happens. Boom.
Flash is alive.
And he has Luther.
One damn thing at a time.
No, you can't make the shark talk.
If there's a snowball,
He's got to be like all stupid, like in a movie.
Hi, Bruce.
Hi, Bruce.
This is gameplay.
I don't hate it.
This is gameplay. Looks like Guardians of the Galaxy. Remember that?
Yep. Oh, wow.
Who's that guy?
Captain Boomerang.
Captain Boomerang?
Yeah, he's a bad guy. Well, anti.
I'm not good enough at comic books, I guess. I'm gonna turn the volume down and keep this on. Initial thoughts. I mean, you hopping into this? This is catching you?
I'll do it for sure because you know me, I love comic books. I love the whole story. I kind of already can kind of tell what's going on, so it kind of like sucks that I already know like basically the synopsis just based on like the arm and Brainiac and everything. But the gameplay looks tight. I beat Guardians of the Galaxy and I loved it, and it looks like that meets like Gotham Knights kind of.
That's what it's given. Arkham
You like
Arkham
both of them.
Asylum is the last game
Yeah,
I
yeah,
played
yeah.
that felt like this. Is the last time I played Batman. It was like, yeah, which I mean, I guess DC that makes sense visually, but also the gameplay. Okay, Anton, is this something that's going to catch you?
It caught my attention, definitely. I'll be honest. I don't really ever beat these games. I definitely play
Right.
them, but I mean, I'll definitely game
Pass
sharing
it?
with Shad more than likely.
Fair enough.
We'll probably get it, and so I'll be able to play it. But you know what I mean. But it looks good.
It looks
I love
fine.
the-
It doesn't catch me. What do you love?
Yeah, it gets my attention. I'll definitely try it out.
I'm so bad at these games. Like I'm so thankful for you guys for playing these. I'm so bad at getting into some of those games. I'm like, but it looks like a good game. For what it's worth, I also didn't beat Spider-Man. I got like 4 hours into that and was like, all right. And everyone loves that game. Like I know the problem is me. I'm not that guy now. So excited to see what you guys think and see how it is. It looks pretty solid, but just not. It's not a me game. That's what diversity brings. That's what we offer at the No Randoms podcast. I know the name of our show. Those are the things that we offer here. You can get, you know what I mean, a little bit of everything with your service, with your service. That's all we got for you this week. I'm ready to sign off and sign up out of here. Anything you guys got for the audience, my boyos?
No, man. Same old as always. Thank you for listening. following us on our socials. We
Hop in
are
those
live
clips.
on the Comic Con Radio on what, Thursdays, right?
Thursdays, yeah, Thursdays we're live on CCR, and the YouTube clips have been going up. So check us out wherever you're at. We have some controversy. We'll get them this week, but we've been having some good comments, so we appreciate it.
Yeah, man. We read the comments. We love the feedback. We appreciate y'all. Thank you for listening. We'll be back.
We out.
No randoms.